Hi guys. Ooh. What's up guys? You're with Mystic the Siren Sims and welcome back to my channel. Today is a epic day. Today I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update, speak about the magazine and speak about my ideas and where they come from as well. So I got the idea of the magazine because I had seen some people who play The Sims 4, they would like drop edits on Twitter of like their Sims, but like in magazine covers and stuff. I've always loved that aesthetic. I'm like, how'd they do that? I edit my thumbnails with Canva, so all I had to do was just look for magazine edit templates, and I found it, which is why you saw the magazine edit template for my In Bloom series. I think it's a pretty cute way for me to like update you guys on what's coming next by just like giving you guys a thing. And I wanted to give you guys a little 5-page, not too much, a little 5-page upcoming magazine, just so you guys can see what's coming next on the channel, or what will be coming out throughout the year as well. I'm not necessarily going to say it's coming out on this date. Some things I have planned by dates, other things I just have in the vault to be edited, to be shot, to be posted, all that type of stuff, right? So, one of the reasons that on my Tumblr I say creative simmer is because I'm always having ideas. Now, nothing is original. Anything I say or do, it can definitely be said or done in a different way by somebody else earlier. I didn't necessarily grow up on a lot of Sims content. I've watched like a few like Sims 2 videos here and there, 1 or 2 Sims 3 videos here and there. I've heard of Life Simmer, but unfortunately, unlike other Simmers, I didn't have the experience of like seeing all the top Simmers back in the day, and some of them passed away, unfortunately, and all that. I don't have that. So a lot of the ideas I have, like, oh, why didn't somebody do this? They probably did, and I just didn't see it because I wasn't watching Sims YouTube at the time. Or YouTube in general. When I was super, super young, I'd only watch YouTube for music, to be very honest. And then I came around to watching YouTube for stuff other than music. So, I have a lot of ideas. I literally have a notebook filled to the brim with checklists. Like, did you do this yet? Do that yet? There's a lot of stuff that I've actually done, that I didn't even realize was on, to-do lists. I didn't want to say this though, and I always say this just randomly in random videos. If you want to be a YouTuber, you don't need to plan everything, but you need to write down what you want to do. Because I know a lot of people get burnt out. They don't know what to do. They don't have any ideas. I'm not one of those people. Normally, if I'm doing something, I know exactly what I want to do. I might just come to you guys with like some finishing stuff, like, oh, what do you guys think this person's name should be? Or what do you think? Or, are you guys even interested in this particular idea? But I already want to do it. I just need you guys to help with a little embellishments. Like if a Sim is getting married, do you want to get married to this Sim or that Sim? Or what should we name their kid? Like, I'm not gonna ask you guys for ideas. I might give you guys the option to give me ideas, but I already have ideas. I think one of the reasons that culminates for me is literally because I'm a storyteller. So I've read a lot of books. I need to get back into reading. I've been feeling like reading my favorite book series recently, and I will be doing that. But I read a lot, and so I have a lot of stories in my head. So, I always have an idea. One idea that I had that I'm gonna start it out so I can feature it in the magazine. By the time this video comes out, the magazine should also be out. So if it is, I'll just talk about it now. So I've always had the want to like make some of my favorite book characters in The Sims. Not even just to play them, just to make them. Because I read books weird. Like, I don't like, at one point I used to just imagine whatever the writer was saying and just work with that. Of course, you don't know exactly what they thought, because they could say thick lips or thin lips, but like in the writer's head, they weren't that thick or they weren't that thin. Like, you don't know exactly what that writer had in hand. You just have like the blueprint of what they were trying to say. So I would imagine as best I could, which wasn't a problem for me. But then I would also, like, later on, I would just put like actors that I liked or that I thought had a lot of chemistry, because I read a lot of romance books as well. I would put actors that I felt like had a lot of chemistry in those roles, or I would like gender bend them because I would read a lot of books with I would read a lot of books with you know um white girls at the helm. So for one or two of them, if it made sense, I would change the white girl to a black girl. I haven't done that often though. I've only done that like once or twice, and I can't remember which stories I did that for, but I did it once or twice. And those people are like, just read books with the black girls in there. Look, recently there are a lot more books like that, and I have read them. But I'm talking about when I was a kid. Okay, I'm talking about when I was a kid, so hop on me. So yes, you're going to be seeing creative sims of me doing some of my favorite book characters. I guess I can spoil one. I plan to do the Duff. Not the Duff movie, the Duff book. Yes, the Duff was actually a book. And one of the reasons why I loved it is because it was one of the first like book to movie adaptations that I could actually relate to. I was like, oh my god, I actually read this like 3 different times. I've actually read this book a lot, and now you're making a movie. I'm hyped. So I'm actually going to talk more about what I felt about the movie and the book separately in that video. I don't know if I'm going to make every character, but you know that we're going to make Bianca and we're going to make Wesley, okay? I'm going to make both of them. I don't think I could make her best friends. I could make her best friends as well. That's about it. Those are the only characters that matter. Shocker, the mean girl in the movie was not in the book, so I'm not making her. Bella Thorne did good though. Next, what other thing am I doing? So obviously, or the cover of the magazine, and maybe 1 or 2 more scenes in the magazine, I sort of like, ooh, chaotic wedding, what's happening? I'm doing a series called Bent. So it's called Bent because I'm bending stuff, bending the story to make it different, bending the genders of some of the people to show like a different perspective. So what perspective is that? For example, I have watched Gossip Girl twice, 2.5 times, right? Around the half time when I watched it again, I enjoyed it because the show is super dramatic, but I was like, how am I going to finish this? I already know what's going to happen to a certain extent. Like, I didn't remember at the time. That's why I was rewatching it. But as I watched the show again, like, the plot points started coming back to me. And I was just like, okay, what if while I'm watching these people act, like, switch up the genders? So, like, I was like, ooh, what if Chuck was a girl and still did all this stuff? Because, like, I think it raises some interesting conversations in my head. Like, ooh, what if a girl was, like, season 1 to 2 Chuck? Ooh. Okay, let me not say season 1 to 2. Just Chuck. Alright. But we all know Chuck was a little bit nicer as the seasons went on. Come on now. But, yeah, and I was like, ooh, what if Blair was a guy? What would that dynamic be like with the way that Blair acts? And yes, I still wanted Blair to be a dictator of taste. Okay, if you watch Gossip Girl, you know exactly what that means. So I just thought it would be really interesting and cool, like Dan being a girl. And no, Dan being a girl would not equal him being Vanessa. If you pay attention to the way that they were characterized, bending their genders just makes the show, it was like refreshing. I was like able to finish the whole thing, I think, or finish at least 90% of it, plus something else I needed to do, because it was just refreshing. It was like, ooh, Serena as a guy, I'm seeing even more privilege. Like, I'm seeing him getting away with even more nonsense. Like, it made it fun to watch. And so as I was thinking about my channel, I was like, what if I made like the Gossip Girl characters and bent their genders? And then that's when I thought of doing a whole series on it, whether it's create a sim and gameplay or just create a sim, where I'm going to be bending the genders, races, and or stories, right? So it might just be the story, right? I might make people word for word and then change the story a little bit, or I might just bend the genders, or I might bend races. Now here's why I'm doing the race stuff, right? I'm gonna be doing that specifically with some of the black love stories, some of the black movies that I like. I know some people aren't gonna like that, but I'm just doing that to make like a new story. Like, what's the point of me, like, okay, let's see a black movie that I have not watched, so I'm not gonna bend that right now because I haven't watched it yet. Brown Sugar with Sanaa Lathan and Taye Diggs, right? what would be the point of me just making Sonalathon and Tay Diggs in The Sims 3 and then just playing them regular? Record store, everything. Like, what would be the point of that? Like, what would be the point? So I just feel like, what if I changed Tay Diggs to a girl, Sonalathon is a boy, and then made Solanathon Indian? That's it. I do plan that if I make girls, more than likely, they're going to be black. Only because, there needs to be a few more black women stories, in my personal opinion. I know some people are going to say, what about the black nigga stuff? Look, I'm making a bunch of black men to add into my regular gameplays, into the games, and all that stuff. Also, I even started doing certain superheroes and stuff. Some of my favorite ones are black, so you guys are going to be seeing that as well. So, yeah, that was my idea. I guess I can talk about the one that I will be posting the soonest in terms of my bent series. I'm going to be doing a bent version of The Best Man. The Best Man is a black dramatic movie. I guess you could call it a rom-com, but it really isn't a rom-com. It's more of a drama movie. It stars Tay Diggs, Sonalathon, Nia Long, Morris Chestnut, Terrence Howard, Harold Perrineau, Melissa D'Souza, Regina King. Well, Regina King's first starring role in anything. And the girl who plays Mia, I don't really know her name that well. So, it's technically about a writer who is going to his best friend's wedding as the best man, but he has a secret. And even though he's supposed to be smart, he was dumb enough to put the secret in code in the book. And so, the book is dramatic, it's a bestseller, but his secret is in the book. And because his friends are not dumb, as all of them read the book, they each find out what the secret is at different times in the movie. The secret has to do with him and the guy who's getting married and his girl. So once everybody figures it out, drama ensues. It's one of my favorite movies just to watch for the dramatics and the one-liners and stuff. It's great. So I made the bro Sims and I made them girls. So I made Harper Stewart, which was Tay Diggs, as a girl. I made Quentin Spivey, played by Terrence Howard, as a girl. Now, this does not mean that I made Terrence Howard as a girl. I just made what I did for this particular series. I made them based off of. So I took more of their personality into account when I was making the sim, and a little bit of the shade of their skin. So obviously, Quentin Spivey's sim has more of this laissez-faire outlook on life, but is also still very talented and musically gifted. And she looks a little mixed, but she's light-skinned black. Harper's girl has a little bit more of a super clean but down-to-earth look. Super cute but slightly nerdy look. She's a little dark-skinned black. I made Lance's character, played by Morris Chestnut. I had to switch it around because, Lance's character plays football. My girl character not gonna play football. American football, not soccer. So I changed it around, obviously, and I updated the story a little bit. And I couldn't make her as dark as Lance because the skin I wanted to use isn't helping. But obviously, she's not light skinned, but she's not dark skinned either. She's kind of like burnt caramel. It's giving. And I also made Harold Perrineau's character, Julian Murch, kind of made her more of the homegrown, organic, nice girl type, to sort of play off of Julian Murch's sort of, they would call him a simp. I don't call him a simp. I just call him a nice person. Kind of play it off of Julian's niceness. And we're just basing this off of the first movie. I've watched the second movie and I watched the TV show. But I'm not necessarily fully basing everything off of that just yet. I plan to make them and play them and see how closely I can play off some of their events in The Sims 3. So, I will be showing you guys how the girls look At the point of making this recording, I have not made the men yet, but I will be making the men. I just wanted to like tell you guys that the genders for the men are not going to be consistent. They're not all gonna be black. I might still make one of them black, but I'm not sure which one. If not, they're all gonna be different races because I just think that would be more interesting. I want black women to see that they got options out there, okay? And plus, if you want, like, okay, this is a great idea, but I don't really like the race bending. I don't care if you change the gender, but don't change the race. There is a channel out there. Her name is Symbian. All right. She made a Love Jones Sims Machinima series. Obviously, we know what it's based off of, and everybody's black in that. You can watch that. All right. I watched it. I liked it. I have no issue with that, but I'm doing stuff differently over here because I just feel like making it look different. I don't really feel like making it everything word for word. Like, it would be cool, but I want to like show like I'm Jamaican, so everybody's down here. And even though black people are the majority, we see Indians, we see Asians, we see white people around here as well. So I kind of wanted that to reflect in my stuff that I show you guys, which is why I make Sims of different races all the time, different creeds, different religions, because Jamaica is a melting pot. So I wanted that to come through in the work that I put on this channel as well, showing more of a melting pot than just sort of a black love thing. Also, I'm sure I have a level of privilege because I live in Jamaica, so I see myself all the time. I don't always see myself the way I want to, though. That's the thing. Like, just because I see myself on billboards all the time, doesn't mean I get to see my people being represented the way I want, but that's a conversation for another channel, not this one. Anyways, please let me know what you guys think. The create a sim for the best man. I'm workshopping the name. I don't want to call it the best man Bent. I'm just gonna be like Bent presents the maid of honor.
Hey, so this is just going to be a little bit of an input just dropped in randomly. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about the ending of the magazine, because I know I didn't talk about that at all. Now I know it's very short. It's like, what is this? This is just the first part of the magazine. I kind of wanted to get it out so you guys could get an idea of what the magazine would look like. Of course, I spent this video going into depth more because it's easier to talk than to type. However, I'm going to work on typing a little bit more in the future, but I will be doing a video on a mod creator who made new UI, so I'm making a video on that. That's why you saw that. Also, I created a challenge, so since we're at 1,000, I'll be dropping more information on the challenge, but it's called the Bikini Bottom Legacy. You can see the picture here. So I made a new challenge and everything, so you guys be able to see that. And also on the 3rd to 2nd page, you see here ballet outfit. I'll be doing a CC haul on ballet stuff, ballet career mod, ballet clothes, ballet poses, all of that. I'm just looking at that right now just to set everything up. But yeah, this is my first one. As you guys know, very soon you guys will be getting more information on my event series. If you got all the way to the end here where I'm going to be placing this, I'm dropping the first episode of my event series tomorrow. It'll just be an introduction where you get to see what they look like, who they are, which show I'm basing it off of. So enjoy that. Also, yeah, I guess this is just what I wanted to mention. Just so that you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Also, in the next section, the next upcoming mag, I will put more stuff about Sims 2 in there. I just wanted this to come out quick so it could be cute, but you guys could still see what was going on. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll shut up now. Next.
So I'm going to be doing that. Yes, I do plan to do gender bent versions of Gossip Girl characters and put them out. I just have to redo them. Now that I'm better at making Sims, I feel like I can do them because I started doing them before, but I was just like, never mind. So the old Sims are going to be coming out in sort of Create a Sim and Chills. I'm going to call them different stuff, even though when you get them, they're going to have the Gossip Girl people that bent names. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that. Who else was I going to bend? I think those were the two that were like, ooh, I definitely want to do that. Yeah, those are the two that I definitely want to do. For other like favorite old movies and stuff, I'll be taking those ideas to make gameplays, not necessarily to do bent series stuff. But yeah, let me know what you think of my idea, guys, and please do um enjoy the rest of your day. All right. Goodbye, my sires. Sue.